Hello and welcome everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I am Ashley. I'm here to do another pick a card reading for what Spirit wants to tell you, and I'm pretty excited because I know these come in every week, but Spirit likes to come in every week to tell you guys stuff. And I'm pretty excited because I think that it's going to be really, really good. So let me shuffle the cards here quick for you, and then we'll get some piles going. Just to let you guys know, I do many more things on my Patreon, which I will link below. I do daily videos, weekly videos for both Divine Masculines and Divine Feminines separately, and then I do videos for empowerment, chakra clearing videos, kind of a spread that I called My World spread, so it goes really in depth for a lot of things. And then I also do like love connection spreads for those of you who feel like you're twin flame or soulmate, or a just have a soul connection with somebody else. So I do all of those and more. I create all of my own spreads. So besides like the pick a card reading, everything is has been divinely guided for me to create of my own. So come join me there. I have different tiers, as well as I have personal readings as well, that you can choose from. So there's 2 different tiers in the personal readings if you guys want to have a reading with me. So yeah, I will start doing other pick a card videos, but right now what has been wanting to come in is what your guides are trying to tell you. I know from experience that sometimes it's hard to get guidance for ourselves. Sometimes we have to sometimes it's easier for us to get guidance from other people than it is to see it for ourselves, because I feel like sometimes our ego likes to kind of block the messages, where somebody else kind of who has that divine connection can have like an unbiased opinion of the energies and the information that's coming in, which is why I like to do these. But I will be presenting more pick a card readings here in the future, so more variety. I actually just got an oracle deck, or I just ordered an oracle deck that is like a life purpose one, so I'm going to use that for pick a card reading, so that's going to be exciting, guys. So yeah, I'm picking out oracle decks now that are specific for things that I want to bring onto my Patreon, as well as here on my YouTube channel. So we have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. I haven't had to use the books for a while, but I'm going to use the books just in case, or I'm going to grab the books just to give you guys a second to choose. But just in case things come out for them and Divine calls me to read from the book, I want to be ready. And as I said, it also gives you guys a second to choose which one you want. So whether you want one or all of them. Sorry guys, I'm trying to look for my last little book. There it is. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we got them all. So in case Divine wants to give more messages that are from the book, I always bring them out just in case. And then of course I'll put the timestamps here in the description below, along with all the information for my Patreon. But guys, let's get into pile number 1. So this is what your guides want to tell you. Ooh, we have beautiful cards here. Okay, so we have from the let me tell you which decks these are, guys. Give me a second to kind of put this out. We have the Oracle of the Unicorns from Cordelia Francesca Brabs, and that message from this deck is receive. So we have be open to receiving goodness, believe you are worthy of abundance, a gift is coming for you soon. From the Conscious Spirit Oracle deck, we have from Kim Dreyer, we have gratitude. Being in a state of gratitude will help us be in a state of being able to receive things. I am grateful for everyone and everything in my life and the lessons each brings. From the Wisdom of the House of Night decks from PC Cast and Colette Baron Reed, we have wishing. So you guys are definitely trying to manifest something coming in. Ooh, okay. I'm going to save this one for a second. We have from the Secret Language of Color cards from Ina Siegel, we have orange, nurture yourself. So this goes along with that receiving and with the gratitude. Nurturing yourself will help you with this. And the way that the Secret Language of Color cards works is it brings in a color for you guys to meditate on. So this will help you get into that nurturing essence, that nurturing part of yourself. So focus on the color of orange. From the Goddess Guidance card cards from Doreen Virtue, we have Austria, which is fertility. It is the perfect time for you to start your new projects, assess new ideals, and give birth to new conditions. Guys, this is again along with that receiving, nurturing yourself, and gratitude. You are in the start of bringing something new in, and it comes with this wishing. So the reason why I held off on the Work Your Light Oracle cards from Rebecca Campbell is because this is a no card. So it says wait, postpone, pause, say no. And I feel like this has more to do with with what you're wishing for than it does for these new creative projects to come in. I feel like for whoever chose pile number 1, you guys are wishing for new beginnings in both like work and creative endeavors as well as relationships. And I feel like this wishing and this stuff coming to a beginning and to, a new fruition in your work and creative section, I feel like that is a go. I feel like this waiting and postponing is for the relationship part of your wishing. I really get the feeling that Spirit is actually showing me, you guys having those great endeavors in creativity, in arts, in your work life, being leaders, going into the next phase of your creative work sector. But you guys are not going into that next part of your relationship sector right now, and you're not meant to. It's part of your journey right now to focus on yourself and your abundance in your life. And when you get that down pat, when you're more balanced in that new role, then you can take on that new relationship. But yeah, this is very much for, it's just a time to wait and be patient for that relationship and to go within and work on yourself. Especially when I see this card come in, it shows me that we're still having issues with receiving love, light, and happiness. That we're still stuck in that for whoever is picked in pile number 1, we're still stuck in that idea that we're not worthy enough to have these greater things in life. And one of my greatest gifts is that I can see the highest potential of anybody. And seeing the highest potential of you guys and seeing you along your path, like the reason why sometimes it's hard for me to talk is because I'm just flooded by these images when they come in. So I know that you guys are worthy of it. But it's about you guys deciding that you're worthy within yourself and realizing that within yourself. It's one thing to know it as knowledge. It's another thing to transmute it into wisdom and to use it in your life and your essence for how you live every day. Nurturing yourself and gratitude for the things that you do have and getting yourself out of that lack mentality will help you receive. But guys, this is something to work deeply on. And when we can receive in things like creative ventures, abundance, jobs, it sets us up to have, we can have that kind of up and down moments where if we're, when we're first learning something, it's kind of trial and error. So Spirit is saying that it is time for you to receive and to be open to that and to learn your kind of trial and error with things that are not a relationship, because it'll set us up, once we kind of practice in these friendships, these creative endeavors, and these work relationships, we can better come into a romantic, passionate relationship. But if we go full force into this, they're saying that you can trigger yourself into a place of victimhood if it doesn't go your way. So use this time to wait on that relationship, nurture yourself, have gratitude, and be open to receiving for yourself for this fertility and abundance that's coming in. They're also talking about boundaries. So it's good to establish these boundaries first and trial and error your boundaries out with people that you're not in that romantic relationship with. So again, use this as a trial and error of what I want to bring into my life. What I want to bring into that work life, that creative life, that friendship life, even family life, so that when you get into this wishing for this relationship, where your boundaries are, and you're not having to go through those kind of growing pains with this relationship. So great stuff going on for pile number 1. I see a lot of love and light in your future. You guys are definitely I've aptly in like the spring to summer of things happening for you. So I'm super excited. Let's bring in pile number 2, guys. Ooh, okay. Lots of good stuff. So we have from the Oracle of Unicorns deck, we have growth. This is a beautiful card. I don't know if I can get it close enough. If any of you have a desire for Oracle decks, the Oracle of Unicorn decks are a beautiful deck to buy. It says growth, seek out a mentor or guide, take baby steps as you grow, be willing to learn from others. We have embrace change from the Conscious Spirit Oracle deck. I move easily and confidently through the changes in my life. Beautiful. This goes along with growth, guys. Growth takes change. Okay. Okay. So the next card that they're telling me to pull is from the Work Your Light Oracle cards. So this is the Priestess card. I don't know if you can quite see. These are beautiful cards as well. How are you being called to step up and lead? Guys, you're being called to step up in your lead in your life, whatever that goes along with you. But this, or whatever that entails, is personal to you. But that goes along with this growth and change. We're always changing, no matter if we consciously do it or not. But choosing to grow within that change is a choice within us. And what are you being called to lead? Are you called to lead your own life, or you're called to lead in other people's lives as well? I hope that there's some of you who picked more than one deck, or picked all of them, or more than one pile, or picked all of them, because I feel like this has a lot to do with the first pile. So if you haven't seen that yet, please go back and see that. But you're being called to lead in your life. So are you going to accept that gift from divine and from your higher self, or are you going to deny yourself that growth and change? Choice is up to you. We all have the freedom to choose, but guys, it's so much better when you choose to, grow and change. From the Goddess Guidance Oracles from Doreen Virtue, we have Mott. We have fairness. This situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. I love that she has those scales up here. So guys, if you guys are feeling a bit fearful about like, oh, if I go to that leadership position, what will this person think of me? What will that person think of me? Get into this priestess energy, into that divine feminine energy within you. And remember that, you've done the work. to get there. I really like, they're giving me that emotion of pride and leadership, because I feel that you guys who have chosen pile number 2 have put in the work and then some to get there. You earned this. Don't ever feel like you haven't. So don't back down on just because somebody else's ego and drama and victimhood is coming in and trying to bring you down with them. Remember that you have done the work to earn this new leadership, this growth, and this change in your life. We have, from the Secret Language of Color cards, we have black. I absolutely love this color. I love these photographs too that are that they use for this deck. Black is find richness from the dark night. Guys, this is about balancing your light and dark. We all have light and dark within us, like we have yin and yang, like we have divine feminine and divine masculine. It's all the same. Having that darkness within us does not mean that we're bad, evil people. It just means that we understand and we balance those energies within us, and we use them for our advantage. When people just use their dark or just use their light, they're only using half of their power. When you're embracing that that other side of you, it is not an evil side, it's just another side of the coin. It's like you working with your left hand and your it's probably left hand to you, but my right hand and my left hand at the same time. It doesn't mean that one hand is better than the other, or we should just use one hand and deny the next. And I think, like, I've been waiting to bring this card out because it's a fantastic card, but it goes along with this whole journey, guys. To balance that within ourselves, and remember, Mott had these scales coming out too. We will bring that fairness and that leadership, that growth and that change within our life, and we will have success in it. Guys, pile number 2, you will have success. Again, I feel like this has a lot to do with pile number 1 as well, but these are the House of Night cards, and I have to like just put a little caveat on here. This is the Wisdom of the House of Night cards from PC Cast and Colette Baron Reed. These cards are fantastic, but they are channeled from the goddess Nyx, who the goddess Nyx is a darker goddess. She's kind of like, she reminds me of like Lilith, of Hecate, who is the kind of the mother of all witches, or the first witch, or Isis. So she reminds me of those goddesses, and she, like, Nyx is not a evil goddess. None of these goddesses are. They just are standing in the power that or in the path that the divine has set out for them. They are no different than like the goddesses of the light goddesses like Aphrodite, or I'm thinking of like Artemis and Athena and all these other goddesses that are more light goddesses. Nyx is no different from that. We are no different from that either. It is all about how we use our energies in the world. So if you want to use your energies to steamroll other people, then yeah, that can be considered negative. But if you, I don't feel like whoever chose pile number 2 is doing that. So if you have fears, let those fears go about, you not being in a kind, loving energy when you're taking that leadership roles. You are. Don't let your ego or anybody else's egos or fears derail your leadership position. So I really, again, I go back to this priestess a lot because I really feel like you guys have put in so much effort and so much work that you deserve all of this that's coming for you in such a good way. It's that good karma coming back, guys. So don't let anybody else's ego, don't let your ego, don't let anybody else's fears or your fears get in the way of that good karma coming in by saying like, oh, by saying that you don't deserve it and that it's a bad thing for you to come from a place of strength. And that's all that embracing your shadow is just strengthening you in your position in life. So on to pile number 3. Beautiful. Okay. I hope that there's somebody who chose all three piles, because these definitely have a lot to do with each other. Okay. So we have from the Oracle of the Unicorns, we have expansion. And again, beautiful cards, guys. If you guys are into getting Oracle decks yourself, definitely check this deck out. I highly recommend it. So expansion is spread your wings and soar, share your messages and shine your light, show the world what you're made of. Guys, it is time for this, because here's the thing. You have spiritual awakening from the Conscious Spirit Oracle deck. And this is number 1 card, guys. This is the start of your new journey. So this is what your expansion is supposed to bring in for you, is that spiritual awakening. I embrace my soul purpose and align all aspects of my life to it fully. To it fully, I was kind of caught up in that, to your soul purpose fully. We have cyan, and this is build your confidence. So again, concentrate on the color of cyan. I forgot to say it in the pile number 2, but concentrate for pile number 2 onto your color back in there to help you with that success. But if you look, guys, these are all, like, look at how they match for colors. This is amazing. So bring in your confidence, bring in that expansion for the spiritual awakening that Divine is trying to bring in for you. We have mauve, cycles in rhythms. From the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards, honor the cycles of your body, energy levels, and emotions. So when you honor your body, your cycles, and your emotions, you can better go into this expansion, this confidence, and this awakening. When you don't, when you deny yourself that rest and relaxation, when you go into something when you're not 100% prepared to do so, you set yourself up for failure. So again, it's all about a trial and error, so you don't fail completely or forever. You're just you're just having a bump in the road. You can go back to it being rest and relaxed, but guys, I can tell you, you're gonna have a better time of it if you go into this expansion, this confidence, and the spiritual awakenings with that in the first place, instead of having to backtrack and then go at it again. I'm very much if it's worth doing, go and do it as best for yourself the first time, and then you don't have to keep on doing it a million times to get it right. We have from the Work Your Light Oracle cards, we have Share Your Voice. Sorry. And when I channel, I get air. Sorry, guys. So we have Share Your Voice. Come out of the cave. Come out of the cave. Persecution and expression. So this is very much like being that hermit. But being that hermit, they're saying being the hermit for too long. You guys have been in that cave going through your healing processes, but you've gotten to the point where the cycle, you were not paying attention to those cycles, and you stayed in the cave, and that healing journey became a journey of you slipped into victimhood. They're saying come out of that victimhood and share your voice, and come out of that cave, start your expression within yourself. Again, I feel like this has a lot to do with the other 2 piles, so go back to please, if you haven't seen them all, see them all, because I feel like it starts with pile number 1. Pile number 2 is what you're going to achieve, and this is going to help you. Understanding of pile number 3 is going to help you with all of it. So yeah, we all fall prey to being in that victimhood energy, including those of us who are here on YouTube. No matter how long we've been here, we have moments of depression, we have moments of sadness, we have moments of that victimhood mentality. All of us still feel it. It's just a choice whether we stay in there or we don't. And becoming more conscious of our emotions and our cycles and rhythms of our bodies will help us get out of that those emotions when we fall into them. Again, it's, you know, a lot of these things can come up with our spiritual awakenings and with our expansion, because sometimes it is a balancing act. So we get really, really high, and it's just the knowledge of like, okay, I've been really, really high for a few days. That low is going to come about, and let's heal it. Let's heal all the triggers that are coming in. Let's not make, for me, like, I don't make decisions when I feel like I'm in a high mode and that I'm going to come back down again. I'm like, okay, in the next few days, I'm not making any decisions because I know it's not going to be coming from a place of my highest good. I do a lot of healing work. I try and set myself up so I'm more doing meditation within myself instead of running on those lower days, or I'm just sleeping and resting and giving my body, mind, and soul what it needs. For the Wisdom of the House and Night deck, we have listening, and I'm going to read this there's a little extra thing up here I'm going to read really quick. It says, darkness does not always equate to evil. Light does not always bring good. Again, this goes along with the pile number 2, and pile number 2 goes along with pile number 3. So here's the thing, guys. I said this at the beginning of the video, but I love to do these spirit guided videos because sometimes it's hard for us to hear the guidance from our spirit guides for ourselves. I know I'm one of the biggest blockers of my own divine guidance. Therefore, I still choose to watch other people's videos because they have an unbiased opinion of what divine is trying to bring into me, and sometimes I have a huge bias on what's coming in. So I use other readers to help me help myself, and then I'm here to help other people in the same way and in other ways as well. But this listening it's time to listen to divine. And a big thing between pile number 2 and this one is that your shadow and light side, it's not about denying one or the other. Just because you're in one doesn't mean that you are evil. Just because you're in the other one, or in dark, doesn't mean you're evil. Just because you're in light doesn't mean that you're good. You can come from a place of being a light worker and still be very unbalanced. But and you can be coming from a place of shadow or negative and be one of the best people in the world. So you don't have to be considered evil for that. It is about having a balance between the two. It is it's the balance between the yin and yang, the balance between the divine feminine and divine masculine. It's a balance between your light and dark. Again, as I said, go back to pile number 2. I have more messages on that, but focus on the color of cyan for confidence within this, and know that you are worthy of the things that are coming in for you. So don't ever think that because you're more into your shadow side or into that kind of energy of Lilith, that energy of Hecate, that energy of Nyx, who these cards are channeled for, or channeled through the goddess Nyx, or the goddess Isis, the goddess, or even the goddess Persephone. Persephone's more light, but she's, she was brought to the underworld, so I kind of put her in that, that darker goddess feelings. But don't think that these are bad things. I know one of the things that I had to do through my life is go through that energy of Lilith to come into my complete divine feminine power. And until I opened myself up to that that energy of Lilith and understood that it's not an evil energy, I was able to, until I was able to do that, I wasn't able to come into my true power. So guys, remember that light and dark are just two sides of a coin. It's not something to be ashamed of if you're in that more darker energies. There's nothing in the night to fear. You are the most powerful being in your existence, but it's about balance, and it's about coming into these understandings that from a divine perspective, there is no good or bad. There is no light or dark. Things are just things. So again, don't like use your darkness or your light to hurt anybody or to harm anybody, but I don't feel like anybody who's watching these videos are going to. So I feel like I'm bringing in people who already have a good moral compass and have a good integrity. So yeah, don't be afraid that you're gonna lose that. You don't ever lose those values and morals. Sorry guys. I live in a neighborhood, so you guys are always gonna hear stuff on my videos no matter how hard I try not to. But it's one of those things that you have that integrity and that that moral compass within yourself that's really solid. So don't ever feel like you won't. But yeah, thank you for joining me again. If you want daily videos, weekly videos, way more content, in-depth videos, please check out my Patreon. Everything is up on there. I do a new deep spread each week, as well as weekly energies, daily energies, and energies that the deep energies go for about the next 4 weeks. So I will see you guys later. Hopefully you guys resonated with at least one of those messages, if not all of them. And yeah, have a good day, guys. Bye.